Independence Man here, exposing government corruption, one friend at a time. Friends, I'm awful excited today. The election is less than 12 hours away, but I already know who the next president is going to be. How can I know before the votes are even counted? Because, friends, I've been watching what the elites have been doing for over 12 years now. I've studied their moves. I know their tactics. Remember Bush and Gore? Remember the hanging chads? Give me a break, man. Doesn't anyone else think that was a little bit strange? Well, friends, they're at it again. But now they have new tricks up their sleeves. Before I get into that, I want to know why they keep telling me that I only have two choices for president. You can have the clown on the left, or you can have the clown on the right. The choice is up to you. Now, I don't know about you, but I caught on to this game at about 7 years old when my mother told me that I could choose this ugly shirt or that ugly shirt to wear to school and that the choice was entirely up to me. Now, I knew that I saw an entirely different shirt that I thought was cool and represented everything that I believed in as a 7-year-old kid, but Mom was awful convincing with that golf club in her left hand and them two ugly shirts in her right. So, in an effort to keep that golf club where I thought it ought to remain, off of my behind, I chose what I thought was the least ugly of the two ugly shirts. You see where I'm going with this, friends? Why is it that they keep playing these same tired old games? And more importantly, why is it that we the people keep putting up with it? For crying out loud, man, I get more choices when I go to the store to buy toilet paper than I do on voting for the most important office in the world. These fools spend hundreds of millions of dollars putting ads on TV telling you how great they are and how bad the other guy is when we all know that there's not a dime's worth of difference between the two. Now, friends, let's see where they stand on a few of the issues. Friends, you know how I feel about the TSA. What with their naked body, cancer-causing x-ray machines, with them sticking their hands down our children's pants to see if maybe there's a terrorist hiding in there, strip searching our grandmothers in public. Now, let's see what President Obama has to say about the TSA.
With respect to the TSA, the procedures that they've been putting in place are the only ones right now that they consider to be effective.
And Romney wouldn't even make a stand on the TSA. But there was another guy, one that they told us that if we voted for, we'd be wasting our vote. Let's see what he had to say about the TSA.
We're doing the wrong thing, and groping people at the airport doesn't solve our problems. What has solved our problems basically has been that they put a good lock on the door and they put a gun inside the cockpit. This groping x-ray exercise, having people feel in their underwear, it's absurd. And it's time we wake up.
Makes sense to me. A good lock on the door, a well-armed pilot, sure beats a pedophile with their hands down your pants now, doesn't it? Let's see how they differ on Obamacare.
Now we're saying, everybody come on in.
Everybody in, nobody out. Universal health care plan. That's what I'd like to see.
And if you don't want to buy insurance, then you have to help pay for the cost of the state picking up your bill, because under federal law, if someone doesn't have insurance, then we have to care for them in the hospitals, give them free care. So we said no more. No more free riders.
And you can't be a free rider on everybody else. You can't not have health insurance.
We're also going to make sure people can't be denied on the basis of pre-existing illness.
It will be against the law for insurance companies to deny you coverage because of a pre-existing condition.
I understand that the president considers his plan in some respects following the model of Massachusetts.
I agree with Mitt Romney, who recently said he's proud of what he accomplished on health care.
There's not a whole lot of difference there now, is there? Now, let's see what Ron Paul has to say about universal health care.
I'm more concerned about a bigger picture of what's happening, and that is government involvement in medicine. I had the privilege of practicing medicine in the early 60s before we had any government. And it worked rather well, and there was nobody out in the street suffering with no medical care.
Now, how about illegal aliens? Yeah, I said it, illegal aliens. They're from another country, that makes them aliens. They didn't come through the proper channels, that makes them illegal. Illegal aliens. Let's see how these clowns stand on illegal aliens.
The president announcing now that hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants facing possible deportation will be allowed to stay under new guidelines effective immediately.
Those people who have come here illegally and are in this country, the 12 million or so that are here illegally, should be able to sign up for permanent residency or citizenship.
Good Lord, man! What other country can you sneak into, get caught, and then be made a citizen? Doesn't anybody have any sense anymore? Well, there was one guy, but you'd have been wasting your vote.
We don't need illegal immigration. We don't need to reward people who get in front of the line. But we wouldn't have so many there if they didn't know they were going to get amnesty. You promise them amnesty, promise them that with no sweat you can get medical care and free education, automatic citizenship, food stamps, and Social Security. You're going to get more of it.
Well, what about some of the harder hitting issues? Remember Guantanamo?
I have said repeatedly that I intend to close Guantanamo, and I will follow through on that.
Excuse me, Mr. President, but I think you kind of took that one in a different direction now, didn't you?
President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention. Putting somebody in jail not for what they've done, but for what you're very sure they're going to do.
There may be a number of people who cannot be prosecuted for past crimes, but who nonetheless pose a threat to the security of the United States.
We're not prosecuting them for past crimes, but we need to keep them in prison because of our expectation of their future crimes.
Some people have said we ought to close Guantanamo. My view is we ought to double Guantanamo. I'm glad they're at Guantanamo. And enhanced interrogation techniques have to be used.
I think secret military prisons, keeping people there for years and years without due process, it's more typical of an authoritarian government to have secret prisons. Why do we have to move in the direction of giving up the right of habeas corpus, which someday, if we're not careful, will affect American citizens? We may be subject to the same type of treatment. So we do not need secret prisons, nor do we need the torture that goes on in these secret military prisons.
I want to follow up on...
Yeah, but that's just for those extremists, right? I mean, for the Muslims, right? Not for American citizens. Well, you know, Obama's a Muslim.
This is all a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy there.
You're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith.
Yeah, but not just the Muslims. You know, the ones that wear those funny things on their heads. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, not just the Muslims, not just the ones that wear the funny things on their heads. I'm talking about the extremists, the ones that speak in a different language that you can't even understand. Those are the ones that need to be held in Guantanamo without trial.
Assalamu alaikum. And Eid Shema Mubarak.
All right, well, that's enough of that. I was just having a little bit of fun there. I know that you're not really a Muslim, Mr. President. I know you must be a good God-fearing man.
We are no longer a Christian nation.
The election is in just a few more hours, and I know who's going to win. I already know who the president is going to be. But before I tell you, let's move on to something a little bit more important. How about, does your vote really count? I mean, what if there was voter fraud?
There is a voting controversy that's going on now. More than 900 of the voters in the recent elections were actually dead people.
This is all a conspiracy. No, you know that? It's a conspiracy there.
953 dead people voted.
Two election supervisors take action tonight after an NBC2 investigation uncovers flawed record-keeping and human error, allowing people who are not citizens of the United States to vote.
County supervisors of elections tell me they have no way to verify citizenship.
5% of the country votes with machines like this, right?
Yes, that's right.
And you are able to hack into it in 10 seconds.
It takes only a few seconds to insert a computer virus into this voting machine.
Dead people voting? You can't verify the citizenship of the voters? You can hack into the voting machines in less than 10 seconds? Don't worry, friends. Your vote still counts. There's nothing going on here. Just look the other way. Nothing to see here. Obama and Romney campaigned in Ohio yesterday. Ohio is known as one of the most critical states for this election. Now, let's go to Cleveland and see who the illustrious people of Ohio are voting for and why.
Obama. Everybody in Cleveland got Obama's phone. Keep Obama in president, you know. He gave us a phone.
How are you going to compete with that? Obama's in Ohio giving away phones. Come on now. He's giving away Obama phones. What about Mitt Romney?
Romney, he sucks. Bad.
Well, friends, there you have it. You got Mitt and Barry agreeing on health care, agreeing on illegal immigration. They're agreeing on holding people without charging them and detaining them indefinitely. They're agreeing on the Patriot Act and the NDAA. And now you need to make a choice. The clown on the left or the clown on the right. It could be a tough call if you didn't get your Obama phone, but now the time y'all been waiting for. Independence Man is going to reveal the winner of this year's election. Friends, it's with great pleasure I give you the 2012 President of the United States.
Hello, world. Are you ready for me?